How's it going, everybody? So let's also make mention, if we may, once again, just sort of revisit this whole January 20th. And hey, it might not happen on January 20th. I mean, good grief. Been wrong every time. The question remains, if not now, does the Lord eventually give it to us in advance, whenever it is? And things it just seems to get heavier and heavier each time. So Adam in Strong's Concordance, I just did my Bible study. Adam in Strong's Concordance, Old Testament in the Hebrew is 120. And it's 76, my birthday, in the New. So Black Adam, which is the Antichrist, him going down on 120 or rising on 120 if he were to go down on 118 or 117 and, die on 118, still. But if you were to go down on 120, there's something else I want y'all to look at. Anyway, yeah, the Adam, Black Adam, 120 is the date. It's also, if you write it, it is 201. It is the 20th day of the first month. So it's event 201, 322 backwards. And if you look at it, it's event 201 fused with 120 Adam with 322 backwards. I mean, it's quite a date. Bible study, hang on. By the way, I have the ability to go live, and I will go live as soon as I am home at a computer. If Trump ever does go down, I'll just go live. So Christian talked about he came across a YouTube feed. YouTube Parlor owner, he tried to give it to me, I guess. And I went ahead and gave him my email, which I've given to y'all many times before. Let me see what he's looking for. Hang on. So it says New Year, New Tea. That's what he was telling me. So it's the first one. It's the first one in the feed. And he said that at the 111 point, the same video, guy standing in orange jumpsuit suit behind him says T and exit. What was that again? 111, right? 111. Today is 111, January 11.
Fled for his life and tried to run away.
T and exit. Okay, right there in the background. That's so funny, man.
Guilfoyle now faces an aggravated murder charge and aggravated robbery.
Oh, that means this is some gigantic PSYOP, capital O, capital P, capital O, PSYOP. Yeah, big time. I do want to remind us, how I've been really linking, this Groundhog Day. Remember, it's 13 days on the Julian calendar. Groundhog Day links to the 20th, 13 days apart. Well, the Julian to Gregorian, they're 13 days apart. And to the 20th, to February 2nd, they're 13 days apart because there's 31 in January. And you're actually going from new moon to full moon. And it begins, he would go down with the goat. The goat. The new moon is on the 21st in Capricorn. He would go down on that Friday. The moon's in Capricorn all day. It goes into Capricorn actually Thursday afternoon at 2:12 Eastern time, Eastern Standard. And then it's in Capricorn, the rest of that day and night, all day Friday and Saturday until, what is that? Until 1:29. So he would go down with a goat moon in a waning crescent, and he would rise on the 22nd of a waxing crescent, as the new moon was in between. He would go down as the goat and rise as the water bearer. And remember all the water breaking when that water broke in that gigantic aquarium. Hang on. So just like I can make numbers fit anything, and we can make the astrology fit anything, we're always looking for that sweet spot that it all just comes together, kind of like a combination. You hear the click, 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 and you hear those tumblers click, and everything just sort of. And we've thought we've opened the safe 120 times by now, and but I don't know if we looked at it as in depth as we do now. I will say that the day he would go down is the Saturday Night Fever album, 37 Progression. And that Saturday Night Fever album was at the Georgia Guidestones, buried with it. Spin City, Back to the Future 4, Judgment Day, which was released on 2/23, 1999. Well, 2/23, that's this year. And 1999, that's almost a 20, isn't it? The 20th in 2023. Avengers Endgame. Okay. Demaryius Thomas death. Was it real? He was number 88 for the White Horse Broncos. So his death. Robert Trump death. The Highlander. The Killing Moon, which made me look at the moon. And this is the Killing Moon. It's the new moon. The next day. Killing moon, yet rising moon. And the Killing Moon was a song of Donnie Darko. Now the Killing Moon was released on 1/20, 1984. There's 1/20. Trump came out to The Undertaker. King Kong Trade Center, blah, 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 release date. Backwards cipher of X across USA on 4/8/2024. It lands on this 20th. And we know when he goes down, that is it. That's your X across the earth. If you include both dates, then you get Escape from New York, or just go to the next day, the new moon. Loose Change, An American Coup, 9/11, October 2nd, 2022, which was, the same calendar overlay. April 4th, 2015, Blood Moon. Total Solar in 88. Trump Implosion Casino, Maggie Gyllenhaal's birthday. She was in The Dark Knight and Donnie Darko. So that's pretty strong. Trump Taj Mahal, which maybe is the same thing as Trump Implosion Casino. I don't know. No, they're two different dates. 2001, A Space Odyssey release date at the Uptown Theater. Liz Christ Trump, her death on 6/6/1966. Lucifer premiere on Fox. Total Lunar November 8th, 2022. The movie 7 premiere at Alice Tully Hall. Release date of 2001: A Space Odyssey is on the Rising Day. Straight up. It just doesn't get any better than that. Why do you think it was called 2001? The length is 222. This is the worldwide release date. In the UK, it was 12 days later, but United States and the rest of the world. 2001: A Space Odyssey. I mean, you want to talk about a movie about Mystery Babylon. That's their story. Day of the Dead, 86 minutes long. 88 Lights Tribute on 3/11/2002 is on the Rising Day, along with Brokeback Mountain, which is Donnie Darko having sex with a Joker. Metropolis release date, January 10th, Janice Tennant, 1927. October 26, 2019, 88 miles per hour. If 2022 is 1988, then 2019 is 1985. And partial lunar in 79. If you include both dates, you get a penumbral lunar in 2020. You get an annular solar in 2021. Trump at the Wailing Wall in Israel, 5/22/2017. Birdman, Venice premiere, American Pie recorded date, release date not given, but it's the recording date of it. And a partial lunar. Hey, I've seen better, but not much better. This whole succession might be in second place to the shot. Who Shot JR, you know, all the shot. Y'all remember that one, right? And that one's in tan colored. When was that one? I mean, there's some good ones. Yeah, December. It was December 20th. Shot heard around the world. Who Shot JR? Frank Shot in right eye, the 9/11 event. Snoop Dogg shooting. So that's a good one. But the best one is that one, because it's the most amount. That 24th and 25th of December. That is, you put those 2 days together, because what occurred on Christmas Day could have, if you include both dates, is also the 24th. That is the biggest single day of items. And when will that hit again? Well, if you go to December 24th and go up 37 days, that will hit on the 30th. So for whatever that's worth, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Waxing Gibbonus and Gemini. It's on its way to a full moon in just a few days. So, Christian, that was priceless. That was priceless. And let me put that in the comment. Found it. First video up in the search. Thanks, friend. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Way to go, Christian. That's crazy. It's so crazy. What? Oh, Christian. All right. And if you look at the prep real quick, we'll do. Feel like I'm running out of gas here, but Trump 3886 on January 20th. So his number times the amount of days old he will be. So we look at how many days old Trump will be on the 20th. No, that's on the rising day. So on the rising day, make sure I do this right. He's 27981 on the rising day. 27981 times his number, 163464. You've got a 38, 88, 86. Well, the first three before it are his number 45 with the 7, which 7 is the number for tribulation or cleansing, excuse me. And the back three numbers on the other side of the 3886 is 184. And we know that winning that 84, what is that 84? It's 7 times 12. It's the 7's number for cleansing, 12's number for the church, the cleansing of the church. So that's a perfect number for rising. 27979. That's double 7 nines, interestingly enough. But I'll tell you what you got in there. 97's in that 2797. That's how many days old he would be. And the 97th verse of Revelation is Jesus opening the seal that in the next verse gives you the white horse crowning. So they kind of run together, 98, 97, and 98. Now, if we times that by Trump, nothing that, you know, I got married on Highway 2 Candy, the 86 of the 88. We got married at Highway 559, but that's, you know, that's just fuzzy math. He is 76 years old for Adam. And I'll tell you something about the 20. Do you remember me telling you the 120 is the number for Adam? He will be 120 is the number for Adam in the Old Testament Strong's Concordance. Well, I want you to look at what he will be on 120, Adam. 76 years, 7 months, 6 days. That's 76. 76. Which is Adam. On the day of, that's new Adam on the day of Old Testament Adam. So 120, he's 76, 76. That's just, I'm telling you. It's always like this. Then nothing happens, but we'll see. I'm not going to be a doubting Thomas. If the Lord's handing it to us, let's accept it. If it passes, that wasn't anything from the Lord. First case of CV19 was December 1st. When you run that to the rising day of the 22nd, it is 1148 days. So you got 148 Donald J. Trump coded. It is 3 years, 1 month, and 21 days. So you got 121 coded. So you got Donald J. Trump Antichrist coded. The first day of the CV was December 1st. It was patient 0. That's at Wikipedia, by the way. Wikipedia does that. COVID-19 timeline, Wikipedia. So this is a good time to talk about Mercury in retrograde. It's demons in the technology, and that's why everything's messed up. The flights didn't run this morning because of Mercury in retrograde problems. When Mercury's in retrograde, it affects timing, schedules, cancellations, appointments, anything to do with technology. When Mercury in retrograde, it affects technology. Our gadgets get into accidents and start malfunctioning, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's there till the 18th. Well, what makes that happen? Satan makes that happen. He's a ghost in the machine, so he makes Mercury in retrograde seem real. And being that all the goats are there follow the devil, then they'll all be making mistakes and errors and scheduling and appointments. So everything we do with scheduling and appointments, we're dealing with goats nonstop. So maybe your own thing will get canceled. Again, just don't have anything to do with astrology. Okay. And here we go. You ready? Let's do this. COVID-19 patient 0, Wikipedia timeline. There it says patient 0 right there. Wikipedia timeline of COVID pandemic. See where it says began on December 1st? I have already clicked it and looked at it, but I knew if I put that in there, then it would appear. So yeah, it was December 1st. Well, to the rising day, it's 148. So WON, Donald J. Trump, 3121. 121 coded heavily. Strikingly so. COVID-19, December 1st. Okay, so I went ahead and had the link. Okay. Well, I don't know where the patient 0 thing is, but well, there it is, December 1st. Symptoms of index case or patient 0 began on December 1st. So there you go. December 1st. That's a date we need to check from now on, along with Trump going down the escalator. That's his descent. That's when he said he was running for president. He descended down an elevator. That's his descension down the abyss. The game was 7 to 65. Guess what happens when you multiply 7 times 65? You get 455. What's first 3 digits of Candy and I's number? 455. Her number, my number. Remember, it begins with the 45, Trump's number, followed by 500 for Antichrist and Strong's Concordance. 06328. What was the score when you multiplied the scores? 7 times 65, 455. Trolled 100. LOL. Hey, it could just be fuzzy math. The wedding I was in to the Abomination of Desolation Day is 14999. If you include both dates, it's 15,000. All 4 of us divided by 37. Bride, groom, best man, and sidekick. Look at the seconds. 1296 with 6 zeros. Look at the minutes. 216 for 6 times 6 times 6 with 5 zeros. Hours, 36 with 4 zeros. 36 is a triangular number of 666. I mean, y'all, if that's the Abomination of Desolation date, then look how close we are to just everything. What's interesting about that 1296, the lady that was the matron of honor in Candy and I's wedding, her birthday is 8 times 1 times 1967. Her number is 15736. 36 in my number, 36 in my son's number, and 36 in her number. And that's Candy's fiance's next marriage progression. 2 digits. But times her by me, 82362. Begins with 1296. So, I had that memorized. I did that for y'all in real time. I remembered her birthday, her number, our combined number. Like, you can't even call me an encyclopedia of numbers. It's more like I don't know. Insane in the membranes, what it is. Let's keep going. So January 20th comes to 214 in simple gematria. You believe that? January 20th. Simple gematria 214. The 214th verse is what? First time deadly wound is mentioned. In the Hebrew, you got a 58. Earl was killed on May 8th. In the English gematria, which is simple gematria or English ordinal times 6, you've got a 128. Earl was killed on day 128. May 8th is day 128. Unless it's a leap year. It was not. January 20th comes to 214 in simple gematria, and it comes to 2020, stronger together, Mercury retrograde, 927, which is the abomination of desolation, the power of prayer, which is the whole football player having heart issues psyop, is it's all about, I just Googled Damar Hamlin power of prayer. The power of prayer was demonstrated for Damar Hamlin. Prayers for Damar Hamlin show bond between football and prayer is real. Buffalo Bills, Damar Hamlin recovers from near. Yeah, watch this. Prayer changes nothing, Jim Brown. If God's created the end from the beginning, then what is prayer? Start at the 5-minute mark.
Changes nothing.
What'd you say?
Faith is knowing God.
I can't believe he said that. He said what? Yeah, take it back.
Well, let me tell you what. That is one of the most erroneous teachings that goes on in the world. Prayer changes nothing.
Because God's created the end from the beginning. He will draw you to him to bow to his will. Remember, God knows the things you need before you ask. Pray without ceasing, but it's not the magic genie stuff. It's communing with him. It's coming to him and asking for the strength to handle his will. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, is how he told you how to pray. And Jesus, when he prayed, said, not my will, Father, your will be done. I'll put this in the description for you. It's interesting. I learned a lot from him. Once the Lord showed me election predestination, he was the only person I could find teaching it. But he is wrong about demons. He is terrible about end times. He thinks tithing is still in play. So I got a problem with a lot. He thinks hell is an eternal punishment, a complete separation from God. I think they would love that. I'm sorry. Ugh. So what comes to January 20th? The power of prayer comes to January 20th. That's what that whole psyop's been about. If he's going down on 120, they finally quit messing with us because fallen angels could see the future, knowing we would always be doing this. And they keep faking us out like Lucy does, Lucifer. Lucy does Charlie Brown every time. Guess who was Charlie Brown in a play? I mean, I'm sorry, in a Halloween float when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I was Charlie Brown. Lucy always pulling that football out. Yeah, it's the first time I ever thought of that and mentioned that to y'all. Maybe that means we finally got it. I don't know. 1444. Remember, 144 is the church. And 12, of course, is the number for the church. The 12th prime number is 37. Well, the 12th progression of 37 is 444 or 444. Remember, I played for Teamsters, 444. And yeah, I've never asked for the photo. I've always said, just ask for it and I'll show it. It's crazy. And, but we did bring up that Teamsters 444 was in my neighboring town. Okay, it also comes to January 20th, spelled out, comes to 332. And, you know, that's, yeah, both their numbers for their Mystery Babylonian World. But if you remember, 2009 of the divorce on January 2nd, it's a day of 332 days left in the year, which means moving forward from that divorce was 666-88, fused with the 98th verse, the crowning. All that's left was a 69. So maybe we should run 69 times 20. 138 times 2023. 279. That's how many, it's the first three digits of how old Trump is. 279. 174, it says. Interesting. 332, anyway. It comes to Amsterdam, Netherlands. There's your movie, Amsterdam. That is insane. It had all the end times characters from James Bond, Batman, all of them in this movie called Amsterdam. And I was like, why in the world? I knew it had something to do. It's a complete match. Amsterdam, Netherlands matches January 20th spelled out. He's either rising or going down that day, or they have faked us out again. And they could fake us out 1,000 more times. Because fallen angels can see the future. Period, point blank. I'm clicking Amsterdam's release date of October 7th to the 20th. And it's 3 months, 13 days. 313 is coded heavily. Frame 313 is the deadly wound shot, and it's also bounces off Revelation 13:3. It comes to January 20th, comes to University of Alabama. You can't make it up. And I already told you about the 58 and the 128. So there it is. It's crazy. That's heavy. That's heavy stuff. Apocalypse Now. 8:15. Apocalypse Now on the rising day is 158, 86, 66. So it's fusing the 86 with the book of Revelation, which is officially opened at the crowning or 2 days after he goes down. And so that's just very interesting. It's got the May 8th, the 58 in it. It's got 38 in the hours for murder code. And Earl's address where he was murdered. (4383) 4381 on 519. Oh, because it's got 2 release dates. Yeah, so there's the 519 release date. (4383). Yep, murder code. So on the day of the murder, it would be 4381. So you'd still have your 38. And you'd have your 38 in the hours either day, 22nd or the 21st. But the reason we look at No Time to Die, the length was 24:3, 2 hours, 43 minutes. 5243 524 months, 3 days on the rising day. It's no time to die. He's rising. $1:38 for Apocalypto. The movie Apocalypto. 5889 to the rising on the 22nd, 5887 to the 20th. So it was the movie Apocalypto. Movie Apocalypto, Wikipedia. Well, it just got through saying that I've looked that up 7,000 times. So December 8th, 2006. Do you know that was the day, I think it was the following day that I proposed to Candy. Yeah. It was on a Saturday, and that's on a Friday. No. So it would have been the 15th, I bet you. You run Apocalypto to the book being opened. 5889. 5887 on the 20th. But if you include both dates from its to Apocalypto to Trump going down, if you include both dates, it's 5888. We've seen stuff like this 1,000 times, so we're just hanging out. It's keeping us off the streets, what this is doing. Skyfall. 3738 days and 3740 on rising from the release of Skyfall. Well, there's your 38, there's your 37, and 37 and 74 combined. 74 is the next progression of 37. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was December 21st, all the way to this rising day of the 22nd. It's 11 years and 1 month. Or 133 months and 1 day. It's 404 days. 4048, 404 for the book of Revelation. Or 11 years. So this is Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, 404. So it had different release dates. On one of the release dates, it's 404 on the offing and the rising day. 4043 to 4045. That's just absolutely nuts. Because that's another one where Daniel Craig is saved from the deadly wound. Skyfall and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Daniel Craig gets a deadly wound both times and is saved by the Yoni or the girl or the female or Lucifer, Venus, Isis, whatever you want to call them. The Trump elevator ride, the descending into the pit to the 20th. Are you ready? His elevator ride on June 16th, 2015, 66600 hours. 7 years, 7 months, 4 days. If you include both dates and go to the rising day, it's 2777. I'm sorry, don't include both dates to the rising day. It's 2777. And it's 776. If you include both dates, then it's 7 years, 7 months, 7 days. And you're still 666 in the hour, 66672. Tell me he's not going down on the 20th, rising on the 22nd. We've been down this road before. Y'all know we have. There's your 277 again. It's always going to be 666 in the hours. during that new moon time span and this Chinese New Year.
Things. Well, let me
What I gotta say again?
tell you what, that is one of the most erroneous teachings that goes on in the world.
What's that?
Prayer changes nothing.
Old Jim's crazy, man. He yells, but I love it. I like getting yelled at when I'm hearing the truth. I don't know why. Just always have. Or I just do. I shouldn't say always. I haven't been in the truth until 2017. Super Bowl. We got Super Bowls on the 20th and the 22nd that had 38s, and they were back-to-back years. So 1984 and 1985. Go figure. 389 times 1638. $718. Coded with a 37. And my second wife number that got 86th. Because the 389 and the 638, 1638, that's big stuff. Big. So is that 1985. And it's Super Bowl 18 and 19. January 22nd, January 20th. $72 $920. Nielsen of 464. Cost of 30-second commercial, 368. That's my divorce date. 8036. 2 times 2 times 2009. 8 over 36. 8, 36, 36, 8. 8 is the triangular number of 36. 36 is the triangular number of 666. And my number is 82362. My number and that divorce date on Groundhog Day are just, they're symbiotes. They're the same thing. But, I need to look at this in more detail. I don't have time to really just immerse. But it's good stuff. Nielsen rating 464 on both of them. That's weird. Remember, Trump's number is 163, 464. And the Nielsen rating on both Super Bowls was 464. Trump is 6 times 14 times 1946. 163, 464. Won the second wife for the third wife. No, I think that's Bride of Christ. What do y'all think? I'm the bride. Dark Knight Rises, 3838 to Rising Day. What? Now, y'all know I'm making that up. The Dark Knight Rises came out on 7/20/2012. If you put that to the Rising Day, it's 3,838 days, not including both dates. It's murder code backwards and forwards and in the middle. What? That one's just got to make you laugh a little bit. Dark Knight, 14 years, 6 months, 6/14, Trump's birthday is coded the release date of the Dark Knight to when he gets darkened. It's 14 years, 6 months, 2 days. It's 5299. If you include both dates, it's 5,300 even. Y'all know all about that 53, don't you? Which is still 14/6. Still his birthday coded. But it's an even 5,300. It opened with District 22. My divorce on 22 was on the school buses that he drove out of the bank robbery with. Guess what my district number is at the Polk County School Board? We're District 53. See how they coded? See what they did there? If he goes down on this day, they coded it so well for us. It's so personal. It's not even funny, but it is funny until it's not funny. Polk County School Board District 53. There it is. So you mean to tell me The Dark Knight school bus pulling out of the bank robbery. I'll get it keyed up. We'll pause a little bit here and talk over it a little bit. We'll fast forward a little bit more. It's going to say District 22, our divorce date, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. We met as school teachers in District 53. That opens that movie. It's the opening scene. And you're telling me The Dark Knight, this is what you're telling me now. You're telling me that The Dark Knight is 5,300 even when you include both dates. Because 7/18, Porsche 911, Porsche 7/18. So it's 5,300 even. Because it's really about District 53 and their divorce on the 22nd. It's what? Donnie Darko 8036 to the 20. There's your 8036 again. Donnie Darko, my divorce date, remember? 2 times 2 times 2009 is 8036. Donnie Darko is 8036 days to the 20th. I would love to be sitting here making this stuff up for you. Donnie Darko's release date on Sundance on 1/19, which was the eve of the offing of the 20th, if the Lord gave it to us. It's 8036 days for our divorce date, or the number of the day. 2 times 2 times 2009. I told you this whole thing, Earl's death is connected to my divorce, which is connected to the end times. I've known that for probably 3 years before I even started doing videos, which I started in 2020 because of the lockdowns. I started thinking this is it. And you mean to tell me it's how many weeks? 1148 weeks. There's your 1148 again. Oh, we just saw that earlier. 1148. 1148 is coded again. I don't even remember what it was. 1. Donald J. Trump. WON. If you do the 26th Donnie Darko date, you've got 254 months, and 9/11 was on day 254. You got 186 and 144. So you go to the hours, it's 186, 144. It's about 86 in the church, isn't it? Because Trump got 86th. To the 22nd rising. So we're supposed to look at the minutes. On the rising day, if you go to the rising day and you look at the minutes, you got 1117 for right eye wound fused with 117. 7758, there's 58 again. So notice in yellow, you have deadly wounds, 1117 fused with 117. $817 equals 2216. 817 days equals 2 years, 2 months, 26 days. And remember, my number, 82362, because I'm 7 times 6 times 1961, divides evenly by 37. 2226. Well, my Mayday friend and I combined and myself combined begin with 817. And remember, Trump and I's combined number she turned that many days old, the first 5 digits, she turned that many days old on March 11th. Seriously. And then 33 days later, I turned that many days old. 33 days after that was a total lunar eclipse. The only one we didn't use was the 8. And it ends in a 68, which is his rising. There's 322, followed by a 19, and then a 68. The undoing to Groundhog Day. I wanted to look up the undoing. It is 830 days. That's why I came across the 817. I was looking at the undoing. Well, go back and look. It makes total sense for the undoing actually being on that 817. That's that fusion of my Mayday friend and I, which is all about Trump. Trump and I's combined number. That 817 days, also in the seconds, 888. 11:07 in the minutes. 68 in the hours, which is a reversal of 86. 38 of a common year, also 223 or 322. It's interesting.
Prayer changes nothing. The last few weeks, we've been talking these things. Well, let me tell you what, that is one of the most erroneous teachings
This will be in the description.
that goes on in the world. Prayer changes nothing.
120 Black Adam, and I shared that with y'all, so we're done. I love y'all very much. Christian, thank you for that. That was stellar. Love y'all.